the Smartcast technology is a CREE technology. The Spacewise technology is a Philips technology. Essentially, they're the same, but they're actually quite different. But on the basic premises of what they do is they're integrated inside each individual fixture, as opposed to having to put a sensor on the wall and maybe a sensor on the ceiling and a power pack. All the controls are integrated in the fixture, and what they will do is they will actually act as the occupancy sensor. So when someone comes into the room, the lights turn on, and then you can set that timer for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes. When the person leaves the room, the timeout. One of the beauties of the LED is that they love to be controlled. It doesn't matter how often that they turn them off and on. When you look at traditional lighting, you really had to set those thresholds for 12 minutes. And I love telling this story because say you have a copy room, and that copy room has a wall sensor on it. That person walks into there every 15 minutes, say someone comes in there to copy a piece of paper. Well, traditionally, those had to run for 12 minutes. Otherwise, you voided the warranty on the ballast and on the lamp. So if someone came into that space every 15 minutes, those lamps were running for 12 minutes. So over the course of an hour, you only saved 12 minutes because the lamps were running for 48 minutes. With LED, you can set that threshold to 30 seconds. So if that same person, or 1 minute, so say we set it to 1 minute, that person comes in the room every 15 minutes to copy a piece of paper. Well, now you've saved 56 minutes because the light only burned for 4. So LEDs have much more controllability. You can also have before you would actually have to take a sensor and either buy an occupancy or a vacancy sensor. The difference between the two of them is a vacancy sensor is when I walk through the door, I actually have to turn the switch on. And because I don't want it to come on when I walk through the door. So I turn the switch on, and then when I leave, it acts like an occupancy sensor. It times out after I leave. So with the integrated controls, you can do either or, depending on what you need, your application to do. And then also with the integrated controls, now they have daylight harvesting. So it'll actually self-diagnose and read how much natural light is in the room and dim the lights down so that it gets to the levels that you need. And as, say, the cloud cover comes over the window or it's a dark day, those lights will actually come back up. So the fixtures actually self-diagnose, are self-diagnostic. And one of the beautiful things about the fixture too is that you don't have to have it on an energy management system or on a central system, because now those fixtures are always running optimal. You can ensure that the lights are going to turn off. They're not going to turn off and on. You don't need to have them scheduled because they're only going to operate when people are actually in the spaces themselves. And even when they're in the spaces themselves, they're going to operate at optimal.